I need you to stay with me because if one door has ever slammed on your face, career, money, identity, love, what I'm about to say will either free you or quietly ruin the next 10 years of your life. And problem is, most people choose wrong. Stay with me. The closed door. Let me tell you a secret that no one posts on LinkedIn or Twitter. The door you wanted the most, that job, that relationship, that marriage, that business, that version of life that you rehearsed in your head countless times while brushing your teeth. Yeah, that door. Sometimes it closes so violently you hear it echo in your chest. Not a polite no, a humiliating identity questioning, sit down and stare at the wall no. I remember mine. I had done everything right. Studied the thing, followed the plan, and of course, trusted the formula. And still, nothing. No applause, no arrival, no riches waiting at the end, like the brochure promised. And here's the scary part. Nobody tells you or warns you that when a door closes, you don't lose the thing. You lose who you thought you were becoming. That's the real grief. Stay with me, because most people never recover from this moment. They harden, they get bitter, they become angry, they start saying life is unfair, like it's a personality trait. And that bitterness or anger, it quietly bankrupts them without them knowing. Now, let's look at it differently. What if this closed door doesn't actually block your wealth? Have you ever stopped and asked yourself, what if it protected it? Your wealth. Let's talk about the wrong map. You see, we were handed a map too early. The map looks like study this, become that, and like this by age X. Success in a straight line. Very cute, very fictional. But here is what nobody likes admitting. Most people out here are living someone else's blueprint and wondering why the house feels wrong. You know that feeling when you're doing well, but something feels off? Like you're dressed for the wrong weather. That's not laziness. That's misalignment. And here is where it gets uncomfortable. The skills, those skills you have that you assume that you thought are useless. That detour you resented, or that season that you termed as a waste. That right there is compound interest waiting for a new account. Because skills travel, storytelling travels, pain travels, pattern recognition travels. The richest people I know didn't just arrive, they rerouted, okay? And they reroute hard fast. But let's talk about why some people turn those reroutes into wealth and others turn it into a long life resentment. Which brings me to the anger trap. Let's talk about anger. Anger is seductive. It makes you feel right. It gives you a villain. And most of all, it gives you an excuse. Problem is, it quietly keeps you stuck, staring at the door that didn't open. I see it all the time with my friends, some of my relatives. People married to their original plan. They're out there grieving something that expired, refusing to pivot just because, according to them, it shouldn't be that way. And listen, I get it, okay? I'm not Mrs. Jesus here, okay? But at the same time, anger is extremely expensive. And this is because it clouds your judgment, It kills your curiosity. You're no longer curious. And it blocks opportunity dressed as inconvenience. The scariest thing, angry people miss exits over and over again. They'll never see the new door. And this is because they're busy arguing about or with the old door. Problem is, you see life. Life doesn't argue back. It moves on. That's the sad thing about life. Hey, life will leave you there with your bitterness, with your anger, whatever issues you have, it will just move on. It will not wait for you. The earlier you get that, the better. That's the map. So, what happens when you stop fighting the map and you start trusting the turns? One thing I need for you to understand is that trusting the turn doesn't mean you've surrendered. No, it's just strategy. It's you saying, okay, if the old plan collapsed, maybe it was built on the wrong assumptions. Maybe, just maybe, success isn't about forcing one identity forever. That maybe wealth is about adaptability. When you have the time, look at the data quietly. Most high earners today work in fields that didn't exist when they were in school. I'm talking about creators, consultants, digital product builders, operators, strategists, and stuff like that. They didn't wait for permission. They followed leverage. They trusted the turn. And the good thing about leverage, it loves people who can think, people who can tell stories, people who can solve problems and package value. Sound familiar? Here's a small dark joke. The same system that failed you trained you perfectly for the next game. You were just playing the wrong one. So do something about that. Real wealth doesn't arrive loudly. It arrives sideways. Wealth comes sideways. In confidence that you earned the hard way, in scars that taught you pattern recognition, and in resilience that makes chaos boring. It shows up as optionality, the ability to walk away, to pivot fast, to fund your own ideas, and most especially, to say no without panicking. That is real power. And yes, sometimes it becomes money, serious money, but only after you stop chasing the version of wealth that you were sold when you were young and you start building the one that fits. The irony? That door you cried over would have trapped you in a smaller life. So look at it like this. You didn't lose time. You gained range. So if that's the case, why do most people never cash in on this moment? This is because this moment requires a decision. You have to decide. It's either you keep romanticizing the original plan or you capitalize on the reroute. You either choose to stay angry or you get strategic. And strategy needs tools, frameworks, systems, money clarity, psychological rewiring. This is where people separate. Some scroll and hope, others build and compound. And here is where I lean in. If you're tired of being talented and broke, self-aware and stuck, smart but under-monetized, this channel exists for you. I build tools for rerouted people, for burned out overthinkers, for smart adults who want leverage, not motivation. So if you want structure for chaos, my chaos-proof monthly system is linked below. If you want fast, no-nonsense income logic, the instant hustle manual is there too. If your money mindset keeps sabotaging you, money scripts exists for a reason. These aren't inspiration products, they are survival tools. And if my work has ever helped you think clearer, laugh through pain, or make one smarter move, consider buying me a coffee. Every coffee goes directly to keeping this channel alive. Before I go, that door that you're still angry about, it didn't close your story. And the next chapter, that one pays differently. I'm Miss Muithathi, and I'll see you in the next video.